What's going on today, Internet? I am Selfish here for Retrospect, and if you didn't think that it was getting confusing that all these devices look very similar and use the same chipset, but all sit at different price points and do slightly different things, well, it may or may not have for you, just got slightly more confusing. Today we are going to take a look at the R36S, and we are going to see where it fits in with these chipsets, made by the same manufacturer, I believe, as this one, but to be honest, we don't know who makes them. Come along for the journey. We're going to take a quick look and see what this thing is all about. All right, let's get these other ones kind of out of the way here for a minute, and we'll come back to them. I don't know where we're going to put them, but here we have the R36S, and I've had it for a couple of days now. I just haven't had a chance to play with it yet. I did order purple again, and it did not get purple again. So it does look really nice, though. This has a really sharp purple. I ended up getting a white one. Interesting things are on the back of the box that are incorrect. One, it says it's not suitable for 6-year-olds. I beg to differ, because I'm pretty sure that our 5-year-old daughter will play with this, and I am not concerned about it at all, hopefully, unless parts are falling off of it when we open this thing up here. Other thing, it does say it has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Two things I'm pretty sure that this device does not have, but I guess we'll find out. Let's take a look and see what we got here. All right. Oh, and the thing's upside down in the box, too. All right. So we have our little foamy thing that stops the buttons from getting pushed. All right. Get that out of the way. We'll get the handset out of the way. We'll open this up here. Oh, good deal. Comes with a charger, USB Type-C, or you could probably use this for the OTG port, and we will go over that while we go over the video here. Here we have the user manual, which is backward, as these tend to be. I mean, I get other cultures. I just don't understand. It's really weird to me to open them backward, but then read them in the right direction. You'd think you'd be still going the wrong way. And the host red light flashes. Please charge in time. Oh, I guess it is English. It's just really poorly translated. After connecting to charge, the indicator shows static red. Red light starts flashing and does not charge in time. The host will weird off automatically after about an hour of service. I'm not going to read the rest of it to you, but that's what's in there. Sweet. If we're going to go in here to the wonderful world of 3326s, take a guess at which one's board is actually in this device. Did you pick it out? I'm not going to tell you. One of these devices has this board in it, and that is kind of crazy. Just like this device here was a clone of another device, this device here is a clone of another device that is on this table. Allegedly. The theory behind this is that a manufacturer has been selling the boards with slight modifications to some company that's been making these things. I thought it was Datafrog when the R35S came out, but I may be wrong. I know they sell it. That doesn't mean that they made it. So here we go. We are here to see the R36S. This device, we'll go through the I/O real quick, and then we will go through the device real quick. We're going to make this a short video today. Nothing on the top. All right, so a little different than the other devices in this category. On the back here, we do have our shoulder buttons, which are short micro switches. A little rattly, not too bad. We do have a replaceable battery in this. The device that it's copying does not have a replaceable battery, so that's pretty sweet. Looks like it's got the same plug as a lot of the other handsets that we have, probably like the Mio Minis and things like that. That looks like the two-prong connector that most of these handsets are using, whether they have a removable battery or not. Next, we will take a look at the bottom. We do have our DC charging port, a headphone jack, and we do have an OTG hole. So we got that going for us. Also, this white is dirty. Do you see that? I haven't even used this thing yet. Crazy. Okay, on this side over here, we do have our power reset, and we do have a memory card hole for games. And this one came with a 64 gig unnamed micro SD card. Sweet. So we're going to need to replace that because the card's probably going to get corrupt. On this side over here, we do have our volume buttons. And this is the operating system micro SD card hole with a micro SD card in it. And apparently they don't want you to open this. I don't know if you notice on the back too, they don't want you opening the device. It does say it on the box as well not to open it, but they've put these stickers in any place that they don't want you to do anything. The odd thing about this sticker in particular, with the operating system on here, it's ArcOS. If this doesn't have Wi-Fi, you're going to need to pull this card out in order to update it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. And then on our front here, we do have our D-pad, which feels okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not XU10 good, but it's not bad. Our face buttons, which are stuck together. There's actually, if you look, I don't know if you can see that. I forgot I moved where my camera is, so you guys can't quite see everything as much anymore. But these buttons, you hit one and the opposite one moves. So these buttons are actually stuck together. And we do have our function start select. We do have L3 and R3 on this device on a switch style joysticks, though they are inset a little bit more than some of these other devices. If my measuring stick was working, we would measure that, but I am positive that that's different just by putting my finger in there. Though this one here is closer together. This one here is spaced out a little bit more. I would have liked to have seen, since they put the speaker up top, them to put these buttons closer together. I think that that's where this one has a really big win for using these lower buttons when you do want to use them. You're not going to use them often on these devices anyways. Let's get her fired up and see what we got going on here. Anytime you fire these up for the first time, they do take a while. That's just because it is writing everything into the memory. It's doing a boot sequence. And here we are. Let's take a look. We got game systems. We got everything from Capcom, PC Engine, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, Nintendo DS, Game Gear, PSP. Oh, I already made it through. Bummer. I bet you there's nothing in this Wolfenstein folder. I'm just for kicks and giggles. Yeah, it's just a scan for Wolfenstein games. Cool. Scum V. We're going to change this menu system here real quick, just because it's not going to be in there, because this is going to drive me nuts. I'm not sure if this is better, but we're going to run with this one. Let's take a look at some games. PSP and N64 are going to be the highest two systems. We already know with this chip, not a whole lot of point in doing gameplay on here, because we already know what it can do. But we are going to just try a couple out, because it seems that all of them are performing differently. Oddly enough, Metal Slug is a hard game to emulate. Oh, wait for it. Ah, that one wasn't any fun. I forgot to take the screen cover off. That seems to work just fine. It actually looks really nice. It's got a nice screen on it. Kind of surprised for how cheap this device is. It's kind of like the R35S. I was very surprised about too, just because I didn't expect it to have a nice screen. Okay, let's try something else out. See what we got here. To get back out, it's just start, or it just select start. So pretty similar to most of the other ARC devices out there. Not a lot of games on PlayStation Portable. We'll try Turtles out. This one always tends to trip me up. I don't really feel like playing God of War today. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What's the game button do? Nope, that's too much for me. Why I gotta do all this jumping on the roof thing? I have to do this in every one and never go any further past this. That's too bad. Well, this seems to work just fine. All right, we'll move on. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here and bounce from rooftop to rooftop. Yay! Lucky for me, they were smart and they didn't put God of War on here anyways. So if anybody's down there in the comments going, no, you need to play God of War. Sorry. Graphics look pretty good. Doesn't seem to be skipping. I'm not sure if there's any kind of filter or anything on here or any kind of settings on here that would tell me that. We do have a legitimate version of ArcOS on this one. The R35S actually came out with kind of a bootlegged year-old version of ArcOS. That is a step in the right direction for this company, whoever this company is. There's a little bit in the back of my head that still thinks this is Datafrog, but they've made some pretty good products on their own without taking other people's chips, so I feel like that's probably not correct just because of that. Just in their past practices, they've made some things like the SF2000 that really became a hit. I mean, come on, $20 for a really decent handheld. I mean, as far as the $20 category goes anyways, and now it's got community support, so we're seeing software and stuff like that for it. You can't really go wrong for that. It's like a Big Mac meal, and you can have yourself an SF2000. And for an extra $5, you can have a second set of controllers and play with your friends. Well, you probably don't have any friends if you have an SF2000 and no kids. But though I have thought about getting another one and modifying it. Let me know in the comments if you think I should. They make buttons and all kinds of crap for them now. So I've thought about jumping in. I've got this person on Etsy that makes buttons like these ones for a lot of my devices. Very nice people. I've dealt with them for lots of handsets. And I don't know if it's out yet, but it looks like there's going to be a button kit that they're going to have for the SF2000. Otherwise, there are other Etsy sellers out there that do make them. And I wouldn't mind tricking one out just for kicks and giggles. The problem is you're going to spend more on the buttons than the actual device itself. But I did see some on AliExpress today for $10 or $11 in their flash sale thing. So maybe if I can find one for $11 again in some cool color, I will go for it. If you guys think I should. Let's go try out N64. Okay, we'll do Dreamcast. Oh, we'll do N64 first and we'll do Dreamcast. And these are going to be some of the harder systems to play on here, so if these will play, we should be good. If this can play Cruis'n, we're golden. Again, we've done a lot of reviews on these chips, and we've done a lot of demo videos, so I don't know what the advantage of me doing this right now is, honestly. They're all starting to look the same as I'm looking down at my desk here. It is crazy. I don't know if you figured out which one that they stole the board out of yet, or borrowed the board out of yet. Oh, this is going to be bad. You can already hear the audio's choppy. The 3326s typically can't play this game. Oh boy. Gas is L2. Okay. I don't think this controller is set up correctly. That is a really odd button to have as your gas pedal. So can't play cruising. Now we know. It is a pretty good looking screen. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. I don't know if you can see this. Product quality here is not as good as maybe some of these other devices. It's all jagged around. I don't know why I just noticed this when I turned it over, but it's all cut up along here. I could probably take a picture of it and post it and it'd make more sense. Yeah, it's made by Game Console though, so if there was any questions, you know, that answers all those questions for us. And it's dirty. I mean, like, it came dirty. Now, my white devices tend to get dirty, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's from petting my dogs or what, but like this is all dirty on the bottom. Also, these lines don't match up very well. They're very jagged. I think if you went with a like the black clear color or a purple, you wouldn't notice it because these clear cases tend to hide some of those blemishes a little bit better. Just a word to the wise if you are going to look at this device. And we're going to talk about the pricing on this device because it's actually less money than it was initially intended to be. Right now you can get this for less than the R35S, which is insane. This has only been out for about a month and a half, and we already have an update. Now, one thing I am excited about this device, and I haven't mentioned this yet, but they listened to me. I told them they needed to have the RG353V joysticks at the bottom because it didn't make sense to have them on the top. And so what did they do? They waited about 5 weeks, and they came out with a device with RG353V joysticks. So that part's pretty exciting. I love it when a company listens to me, even though I don't know who the company is. These are sold by multiple sellers on AliExpress, probably some on Temu as well. I haven't looked through Temu yet. I'll throw a link up, though, if I can find something. So it plays Mario Kart just fine. Cool. We already knew that was going to happen. We're going to go over to Dreamcast. I'm sure there's probably about 2 Dreamcast games on here, and we will find one to play, and then we will break it down a little bit. We'll see how Crazy Taxi runs on this. I just did a video on the XU10, so we'll take a look and see how this does in comparison. The XU10 handled this very well. The RG353V handles it very well as well. Granted, out of the 353s, this is the one with 2 gigs of RAM and an Android operating system. It does tend to handle things a little bit better than some of these other devices, though this one did really well. But this also has a 3326S chip in it, which is running at an overclock of 1.6 gigahertz versus the 1.5 gigahertz that are in the rest of these. So that would be the difference, because I was trying to figure out the difference when I came out with this video. And that video on this will probably pop up as last video when you see this one, I would assume. And if you watch this in a year or so from now, I don't know where it's going to be, but it'll be somewhere in the retrospect playlist. If you wonder why I'm pumping out so many videos right now, it's because I actually have a ton of backlog devices and I have nobody around right now, so I can get these things done. Until my dogs get mad at me, because that tends to happen while I'm doing this. Half of my edit is just me yelling at my dogs to stop itching or something because their collars make so much noise, or to stop barking at the mailman. That happens a lot too, but at this time of the day, I can tend to get a little bit more done. This is working just fine. This is good for running over the neighborhood kids, just like all these other devices are. So I think we'll be good there. These aren't going to be in any particular order as far as how I have them here. Like I mentioned earlier, my thought is I'm glad that they moved the joysticks down. It is kind of interesting they got in trouble for the chip on this one and built this one to do that, but that's nor here nor there. So what do you think? Do you think we were ready for another 3326 device? One thing about this device right now, the price on the R35S has gone up to about 55 to 60 bucks. So this device here is the least expensive device in this group of outcasts. Now, again, this is my daily driver. I have one of these and a Mio Mini Plus that I bring with me everywhere I go, really depending on what I want to play. I do like playing a lot of PSP games, which is where this comes in handy. If I'm playing pretty much anything else, because I love to hack on the old Game Boy Advance games, I will use my Mio Mini Plus. Now, today I did actually bring out the XU10. I wanted to try it out just more than just doing an open box video, because these devices, I do actually carry them around for a while, and then I will make a follow-up video once I get through my pros and cons. So since I made that video yesterday, I wanted to make sure that I carried it around, and I'm going to carry it around all weekend and see what I like and what I don't like. And I've got a few things already, so we will, on both sides, so we will go through that later. But now we have this R36S with the 3326 rock chip in it, and it runs like the rest of them. And it is less expensive. So we're getting to a point now where this chip has been out so long and has been used so much that no-name companies are coming out with devices that are really doing well with this space. I think this is a device for somebody who's just getting into this. If you are just getting into emulation, this would be the device to get, in my personal opinion. Is it the best device on this table right now? Absolutely not. But is it a good device? Yes. I think the buttons are better placed than the R35S, which was my biggest complaint about that device. I didn't understand why those buttons were there. Also, it's a little bit more comfortable to hold. The switches, I feel, are slightly better, if you can hear it. Or I don't think I'd want to play either of them in bed with how loud they are. Here's the RG353 as a comparison. Right? And then we have the XU10. So these two are obviously the quietest, and I do most of my playing in bed. Oddly enough, I don't get a lot of time to actually play with my handsets. Most of the stuff I'm doing is just testing, and the little bit of time I do get is when I'm in bed. And if I have something that's too loud, my wife will yell at me. So there's that. Do you like this device? Do you think it's cool? I kind of think that you should get a color other than white, because this is the only color I can think of that they have right now that will show the blemishes. And that's really going to bug the hell out of me that there's jagged edges back here around these buttons. It's really bad quality control right there. But I did say I was going to keep this short, so why don't you do me a favor? Let me know down in the comments what you think of this device. If you already ordered one, if you're looking at ordering one, if you're going to add it to your collection, or if you're new to this space and you haven't done retro gaming before, and this is going to be your opportunity to get into it. This is the device I think to get right now in that, $50 price range. This is the new budget king for $50 for sure. It's more comfortable than the R35S. Unfortunately for the R35S, because this I had picked initially to be my 2023 budget handset of the year. Its big brother came out after it, oddly enough, but we will question those genetics at another time. And I believe that this is a better device, and right now it is also priced better. So this would be my sub $50 budget handset right now. Do we have another 2 months for another 3326 handset to come out? Absolutely. Will another one come out? Probably not. We'll probably see 3 more. And when they do, we'll do reviews on them. Do me a favor and comment, rate, and subscribe, and share this video with your friends, because sharing is caring. Thanks for watching. If you're still watching, you either fell asleep or got something out of this content. And if it's not because you fell asleep, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It helps grow the channel. Also, check out one of these other videos over here. I'm out. Oh, hello. How we doing? Let's see if we can turn this mic up. Turn the motherfucking mic up. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Ooh, spooky.